Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to day 66 of me journaling my journey to becoming profitable and the best day, and the best version of myself. Today, we'll be going over today's price action. I ended up taking a trade on the Nasdaq during the AM session in school. Today was actually a pretty interesting session. I ended up getting a trade in the first 3 minutes of market open. I ended up hitting TP in the first 5 minutes of market open. So I literally hit TP at like 2 minutes. So, yeah, we'll just go over that trade. But there's something that I need to say. Um, there was a big sale going on Lucid, and I ended up buying an account, and I ended up buying that account during Asia session, and the charts were up, price was just shooting upwards, and I don't know what it was. I just got sucked in, and I ended up taking trades, and then you know how that went. I got sucked in. I literally promised myself that I would never trade Asia session again, but I ended up trading Asia session, and I ended up blowing my Thunder account. So yeah, I just needed to say that to be transparent. I'm very disappointed in myself. It's kind of embarrassing to say, but it's the truth. And truly, like, I was doing so good on my Thunder account. I went like 3 for 5 last week, and I was doing well. And I just ended up just crashing out, trading 8 session like I usually do. And I was really embarrassed of myself, but I'm truly just done with that forever. Like, on my life, on everything I love, I would never trade Ace Session again. Like, cause I really just proved my point that like as soon as I trade Ace Session, that happened. So like, literally the past 3 evals got blown because of Ace Session. So promise for good, I'm done with that session forever. But let's just go over what we ended up taking today. We bought the new eval for a pretty good sale, and we ended up making $750, which is pretty good. And let's just go over what we ended up taking. I feel like today's session was pretty good. It might seem cluttered, but I'm about to explain everything. So going to the 4 hour, we had this bearish fair value gap as well as these lows that I ended up marking out. That's the only thing that's really caught my eye on the 4 hour, as well as this unfilled bearish fair value gap. Then on the 1 hour, as well as these highs that I marked out previously, we also had this big bullish fair value gap. This big bearish fair value gap on the 1 hour chart. Scale down. That's the only really thing that stood out to me. Scale down to the 50 minute. We had sorry. This bearish fair value gap and this bearish fair value gap, both unfilled big draws on liquidity as well as these highs. And we had this bullish 5 minute fair value gap as well as this low that is a great draw on liquidity for price to come and sweep into. That's on the 15 minute. On the 5 minute, we had this unfilled bearish bullish fair value gap that price came all the way down to, and then we ended up sweeping out these lows beautifully. Like, this is great structure. And we ended up leaving these highs. So from here, as soon as we swept out this liquidity, started looking for inverse fair value gap to the upside. And we got this very, very clean, beautiful inverse. This big candle, this is 931. We ended up 930. We ended up coming all the way down, tapping into that 5 minute gap, and then leaving this bearish fair value gap. And look, guys, 930, 931, 932. I already got my setup entered. 932, 933, 944, 935. Actually, no, we did. It took a little bit, but we ended up getting TP at 938, and I was off, and it was a great day. Even though we ended up pushing up higher, there's no real reasons for me to carry it all the way up there because, as you guys can see, this is the last real high. I mean, you could have targeted until up to this bearish fair value gap, but there's a lot of fair value gaps in the way that price could have reacted off and went bearish. There's no reason for me to target all this when I could have just taken my piece of the pie. And today was actually more than a 1-on-1 risk to reward. Ended up being a little bit more than that. And this is where I took my trade. I'm not sure why the executions aren't popping up, but I promise I took this. And this is interesting. I don't know why here it says 2 risk to reward, but here it says 1.7. That's a little weird, but yep, that's how today ended up going. Had happy I followed my rules. I'm just disappointed in what I ended up doing on Sunday. But I guess it's just part of the process. You're going to make the same mistakes over and over again until you learn it. But things happen. Life update. Been super consistent with the gym. Started going on runs outside. Helps clear my head and getting my cardio in. Been reading the Bible. It's been talking about recently about how to just have no fear in anything and just have faith in God and that everything will end up working out. Excited for what the future holds. This is the last week. I'm gonna trade on the eval, and then next week we're going back to the live account and going for our 4th payout. Going to be risking $200 per trade and going for 1 or more reward and stack up those 5 winning days and see where we go from there. But things are going pretty well. I'm pretty happy with life. Things could be better, but just be appreciative of what you got. I used to pray to be in this situation, and now I'm here, and I just got to keep on growing. We got like 3 to 4 more weeks of school left, and then we're done. We're going to summer vacation, and from there, just smooth cruising. But anyways, I'm gonna keep this video short. I'm not gonna yap today. That's how today ended up going. Really happy with the price action. Took a very, very good trade. Yesterday, I actually ended up avoiding trading New York session. That's why I didn't make a video, because price action was really bad. But today, great price action, great volatility, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with what I ended up taking. And yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow if I ended up taking a trade. I'm trying to be more patient and just take the best setups possible. But anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one.